Hi guys, it's Lich K Arthas. I am the #1 ranked solo Death Knight in Dungeonborne. I just wanted to start off by thanking you guys for the amazing support on my cryomancer guide video. I hope this guide is just as informative and entertaining. Today, I will be showing you some tips and tricks on how to win all of your fights and engagements, and I will be doing it all in completely green gear, so anyone can do it. I hope you enjoy. To start off this guide, I will be going over our abilities, passives, and weapons of choice. First, we will be taking Soulstorm as our Q ability, simply because you can toggle it off and on to save souls in case somebody runs away from you. Next, we have Grasp of the Grave, of course because there's no secondary option. As for our passives, in order of importance, Dexterity and Stamina are always mandatory for every single Death Knight build. The Dexterity passive provides a 25% slow to all enemies in our Soulstorm ability. This will be very useful versus rogues and druids who try and run away. The Stamina passive is even more important whenever you're in low gear. Next, we will be taking the Strength passive. Grasp of the Grave already generates 30 soul energy baseline without this passive. However, this is very useful during the course of a fight. If you run out of soul energy, you will get 20 additional soul energy from the Strength passive. Next, we will be going over our weapons of choice. I prefer to use dual swords along with sword and shield. I believe that dual swords is the best weapon in the game. Not only is it the best weapon in the game, I believe it also has the highest skill ceiling out of any weapon in the game. The reason for this is that during this very long animation combo, you can actually cancel at multiple portions during the attack into a charged heavy attack. You can utilize this if you expect your opponent to either block or try and parry you. You can cancel at multiple portions, in the middle, at the beginning, and even towards the very end. Another great utility option from the dual swords is that after the first portion of the combo, it will actually lunge you forward. This can be utilized by charging a heavy attack right after the lunge, canceling the heavy attack, and going right into another combo. This can be done by simply charging a heavy attack after the lunge and simply letting go of the charge button. Now, just to show you that my gear is nothing special, I just have the stats needed to meet my passives. If you are struggling meeting your stat requirements, I would highly recommend investing in a jewelry. Jewelry can have secondary stats on them. For example, this ring has 6 strength and also 2 stamina. The same can be said for necklaces. Another great thing about using 3 swords is that they all provide you critical strike chance. So you will innately have a very high critical strike chance, which just means more damage. Next, I will be commentating over some games and fights I recorded over at twitch.tv/lichkarthas, link in the description. I will be telling you how to win some of these engagements and my thoughts during the fights. I hope you enjoy. So the first match is a Death Knight, the mirror match. This guy had been shooting me with crossbow while I was below him, so I already know where he is. I just pull him down, and I get a free charge heavy. Now I'm already up about 100 damage. I try and step back to dodge his parry, and notice I cancel my combo there into a charge heavy because I predict that he is going to parry me, and I was right. And he's already dead. And that is how you get around a longsword's parry with dual swords. Next up again, it's another Death Knight. I'm just doing my usual route of checking different spawns to look for players. And I see a player right below me, he snuck up on me. I land the Thunderclap. I see he pulls me, and I see that he uses Soul Shroud. So I use my sword combo to dash away. And I'm just going to wait out the duration of his, because unlike mine, he cannot turn his back on for another 30 seconds. I see he takes out his shield, so I charge a heavy attack. I charge another heavy attack. And it's that simple. Just starting off with some really easy fights, just to show you guys some basics. So, this next fight is actually versus a decent Death Knight, who is using a longsword. He hits a few good parries on me. So, I miss my Thunderclap, but luckily he misses his as well. And I get my sword and shield charge ready, so I can close the gap. I'm looking for an opportunity where he won't parry it. I see it, and I take it. I jump away to dodge his attacks. And I trade a charge heavy there. I was trying to perfect parry it. He grabs me, I grab him right back so that my shield charge beats his. And right there is the perfect parry I was talking about. So, I perfect parry his charge attack, I take 0 damage. And I sidestep his parry there. And I aim for his legs, hoping that his charge attack will make him miss me, and he'll dodge right past me, and it works. Our next class is going to be Fighter, again just starting with the easier fights I had, just to show some of the basic mechanics. So, this guy's fighting a mob, I just take the opportunity to close the gap. I open with my dual swords, I see his whirlwind, I immediately stop my combo, and I grab him to stop his whirlwind. I switch to my sword and shield, and I look for an opportunity to hit him when he can't parry me. It was basically just a free kill. Next up is going to be a fighter who is also using a long sword. I've been hunting him for a while. I actually just fought and killed a pyromancer. So I see he has a crossbow, so I'm just gonna hide behind this pillar, heal up. I'm not too worried. I drink a red potion so I have health ticking during the fight. And he has whirlwind, so I just block the whole thing. And we go in for a free charge heavy. We back up just in case he ended up parrying our combo. I get a charge heavy ready in case he walks forward. He does. And notice here that he actually perfect parries me, and I actually use the dash portion of my attack to go behind him so he actually misses me. And then I just finish him off with a heavy attack. This next fight is a bit of a longer fight. I was on Sinner's End trying to do classic in completely green gear. And this fighter is waiting around the corner. So I charge my heavy. I see he has Mason Shield out, and again, sword charge charges much faster than Mason Shield, so you will beat him every time. I grab him after his charge. He starts whirlwinding. So I charge my sword heavy again, which blocks all attacks while it's charged, just like the mace does. I stab him around the corner. I block it. He actually hits a perfect parry, which is nice, so I get a bit of distance. And I bait out his block here, and then I just hit him right after because he cannot perfect parry anymore. Sword and shield is underrated. Next up, I heard a player over here, and I immediately hear someone pull out their daggers, so I know exactly where he is. I missed my first few attacks there, kinda bad. He falls down. I don't want him to get away, so I kinda chase after. I see he uses his petrifying poison, which means I can grab him because that means he does not have shadow blades. I quickly block his petrifying poison, and I just chase him with my sword and shield charge, and there's basically nothing he can do. This next fight is versus a sword master. So this person was basically running around the map looking for players, not even killing any mobs. I block all of his swords here. I miss my grab. That was a very poor grab. I think I was distracted at the time. He misses his thunderclap and his crossbow shot. So basically, since I have no soul essence here and I have no grab, I'm just going to try and bandage up and reset the fight here. I'm going to bait out some time until I have my next grab, because again, my grab gives me a lot of soul energy. So, I get my shield charge ready, so I can hit him before he can hit me when he opens the door. I use my lunge to charge away during his sword ability, and I quickly pull him back as soon as he takes out his crossbow, because I don't want him shooting me, and then I just block the rest of the hits, and I chase after him with my sword charge. Again, a very easy fight if you just do the same textbook play every single time versus all of these melee classes. In this next clip, I'm actually chasing a different player, but I see a stray arrow from a goblin come towards my way, so I look at its direction and there's actually a pyromancer over here. So, I just run straight for him. I take out my potion so I move faster, because if you didn't know, if you move with a potion in your hand, you move faster than if you have other weapons in your hand. So this is a very good dodge from him for my thunderclap, but I grab him anyways, and I flick him behind me. That way, I block his escape route, so now he has to go back the way he came. I see that he has a stone shaping flask in his hand, so I instantly charge my heavy from my dual swords. I instantly break the wall, and I just run him down here. There's nothing he could do. And this next fight is another pyromancer. So he's in a very bad position, very good for me. I hit my thunderclap. I take out my sword and shield, and I close the distance. He uses his knockback ability. I see he's turned that way, so I flick him behind me. This way I get his back, and I confuse him a little bit. Also, he's a little bit closer to me. I like him in that position. And then I just finish him off. And I thought it was funny that he had a purple staff but all grays, so I kept that in there. Next up, we're moving on to cryomancers. So this guy had a much better spot than I did. However, I just very quickly grab him, throw a thunderclap, and now he cannot get away. If he is not running the frost barrier ability, he cannot get out of that. For 5 seconds, he is basically immobile, and he's in my territory. Here's another cryomancer, caught in a bad position. So, I take out my thunderclap. As soon as he breaks his frost barrier, I see him charge a heavy attack. I grab him to cancel it. And it's that easy. Next up is going to be Druid. So, Druid, you actually have to play a much longer fight to dwindle their resources. You have to get through multiple lightning staff charges, and you also have to get through their trees. So, I see as a tree, I quickly turn around to block it while also charging my sword charge. This way, I can very quickly close the distance. I charge it again. I jump over his tree using the charge. I use my dual sword lunge to get closer, and I thunderclap him, do the lunge again, and he's dead. Well guys, thanks for watching another video. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Also, let me know down in the comments what videos you guys would like to see. I have a lot of footage playing solo priest and also green rarity gear cryomancer as well. If you guys would like to see me play live or answer some of your questions, visit the link down below in the description at twitch.tv/lichkarthus, and have a great evening.